In this video, we're going to show how we edit screencasts. We'll show several before and after shots of different videos in order to show you what we could do with certain editing tools. When recording a screencast, it is not necessary to re-record when a mistake is made, whether it's writing or audio mistakes. Camtasia allows for these to be corrected during the editing process. There are a couple of Camtasia tools to point out, and this is the main screen that you're seeing here. Audio enhancement tools can be found here under Audio. When you click on Audio, you could level the volume, which is kind of important when you find that there's a video that fluctuates between very soft voices or noises and very loud ones. We always use Enable Noise Removal, and what that does is basically pick an area of a video that has background noise or is silent, and it will subtract that out from the rest of the audio. So anytime that you have microphone fuzz or background noise, enabling the noise removal is a very useful tool. Clicking on the Advanced tabs allows you to choose a manual area to select in case it has a hard time doing this automatically, and you could also adjust the sensitivity. Sometimes we use Enable Voice Optimization. It's kind of just a little thing that you could click on, and sometimes it makes hearing someone a little easier. The other nice thing is that you could pick certain regions of a video, and if that region needs to be increased in volume or decreased, you could click on these two buttons to do so. You could also silence a region. If you silence a region or delete a region, and an important tool to do is undo, you can find the undo arrow here. Control-Z also works. Now your video and audio can be found down here below, and you can pick a certain region that you want to work with by clicking on the red and green tabs and highlighting the region. At this point you could just hit the delete button to delete this region, or you could hit the space bar to play the specific region. Now let's take a look at the following two videos. In the first video, we have a recording of a topic where the creator made a couple audio mistakes. We've then edited those out by highlighting the region and deleting it, and you could hear the finished clip after this.
But we have B, whoops, sorry about that, B minus C has to equal 0, but we have B plus C has to equal 0.
You can see in this case we've also fixed a mistake that they made. Callouts are another nice editing tool where you can find here that allow you to add different types of buttons or callouts. So you could choose arrows to point at certain objects, or we typically use a highlighter callout where we could pick a certain region that we want to emphasize. Another tool that we use is the zoom and pan. By clicking on zoom and pan, you could add a keyframe to any location within your video. At that point, you could click and drag a box around the area of interest. It will show up in a preview pane to the right. From here on out, the size of your video will now be what you've set in the zoom and pan. You can then add another keyframe at a later time point and expand this back to a larger view. Let's take a look at two clips in which we added text annotations as well as zoom and pan to improve the quality of the video. On the right, you can see that we're going to highlight text as we read a problem statement out loud to point out relevant information that the audience should be aware of. As we talk about the phase diagram, we've zoomed into a particular area of interest and labeled these regions with text to help clarify what points we are talking about. The last tool that we use quite often is the cursor effects tool, which you can find here. And if you don't see any of the tools here, clicking on more will drag up a couple other ones. We also add title clips, and sometimes if we want to go back through a video and add our own narration, which is something I might be doing right now, you could click on voice narration. There's also the options of doing picture-in-picture, captions, and in-video quizzes. However, those videos typically are produced as a flash file. Cursor effects allow you to do the same thing. You add a keyframe, and then you could choose your highlighting effect. Let's take a look at a video in which we added cursor effects.
And if we're right on this line, then we have MG2SI. And if we're right on this line, then we have MG2SI.
You can see in the second video that it helped to identify the line using a highlighted cursor, since there are a number of lines that it might be referring to. Hopefully this gives you an idea of some of the editing tools that we've used and we think help to improve the quality of the video. You can see that they're quite simple to use within the Camtasia platform.